we arrived at O'Hare Airport, and it was really big. It was bigger than the airport that we came from, and it was just very different, you know, and people spoke different languages, and all I hear around me are these like random words being said because I didn't understand English at the time.
And she spoke words that would melt in your hands. And she spoke words of...
So talking about the difference between immigrants and refugees, immigrants are really subject to the laws of their adopted country. Usually they come to be close to family or for work. Refugees, on the other hand, are fleeing their countries. They're oftentimes, they have to relocate for reasons due to, quite frankly, persecution due to war, religion, or political reasons. So that's the main difference. One would be one of choice. The other is fleeing out of survival necessity.
I think anybody moving from this country, it's hard to adapt. Refugees are fleeing their countries for obviously safety or political reasons or whatever.
There's so many kids from so many different countries, so we have a wide variety of languages being spoken in the same classroom.
I am refugees. I'm moving from Syria to Jordan, then from Jordan to Chicago.
Hi, my name is Hara Faisal, and I'm 17 years old. Well, my family and I arrived here on August 1st, 2008.
My name is Valeria Avalos, and I'm 18 years old, and I came from Mexico.
The whole entire process of getting here took about 2 years because of all of the rigorous testing and background checks that we had to go through to be accepted to, have like a green card to come here. At the time, it was me, my mom, my dad, and my little brother. But now it's me, my mom, and my dad, and now I have another brother as well. The reason that we left Iraq in the first place was because of the death of my brother. I lost 2 brothers to the war. The programs and organizations that helped us settle in were World Relief.
Well, World Relief is a nonprofit organization that's really on the border of Glen Ellen and Wheaton, and their main purpose is really to bring families in need to the United States, help refugee families in particular get out of a very dangerous situation and into safety in the United States. And since...
There's also the family that welcomed us when we got here, so we lived with them for about 2 or 3 weeks until we got our own apartment.
My family and I, so we came here looking for safety.
As reported in the Refugee Processing Center, in the month of October in the year 2016, 280 refugees arrived in Illinois. 47 were Syrian, and in those 47 refugees was the family of Gina Al-Mustafa, a 16-year-old student at Glenbard West.
And in 2016, 8-10.
Okay.
8-10 I was here. About 3 months later. In Syria, the situation was so bad because every time that people comes out and say we want a freedom, we don't want Bashar anymore, that they kill him. They kill all the people that go out in Jordan, because in Jordan we don't have a lot of money, but here we can working, we can find any job, we can working, we can study with me. I'm comfortable with study because I have a chance. I can working, I can study. So it's make senses and it's make a new life for me and it's safe. The most important thing, it's safe place. And which is I was with her best friend for 5 years. Then when the war was started, I was talking with her. I can't see her because I didn't go to school because the situation was so bad. And there's a lot of bomb. And our school was for soldiers. The soldiers go to school and they take school to
originally I lived in Iraq and that's where I was born, but then my parents had to move to Jordan when I was 7 years old, and then we stayed there for 2 years, and after that we moved to the United States. And we moved because Jordan didn't feel like we barely had anybody there, and things were getting a bit like we had financial troubles, and also we didn't have citizenship. My first memory when I came to the United States is how clean the streets were, and like the technology and like the modern designs, or like, you know, modern design.
They have a huge amount of post-traumatic stress from that and what they've gone through, and that's why they do what they do here.
My name is Lorena Weaver. I'm an ESL aide. The refugee students that we've had are very grateful to be here, and they're very appreciative of all the help we can provide for them. And in return, they are very hard workers, and they assimilate the culture very well because they're young. The parents sometimes depend on them very much because they're the ones that speak the English language. And so then they sometimes have to be in between the adults and their parents. And so that's a little challenging for them. But I think they respond very well.
Us accommodating to them. Like, we had kids come in, and I won't say the country that they came from, but they came in and they were giving their lunch money to somebody. I said, well, they're bullying you. What are you doing? Well, I'll always give them my lunch money. You know, if they're going to harass me, I'm going to give it to them. I said, they're trying to teach them to advocate for themselves, stand up for themselves. Sat down with them individually, and they said, I watched many people in my family get murdered for not giving up what they have. And I said, and they said, you can read articles on that, and they gave me one.
Currently, we have 96 students who are English language learners. You never know if we're getting a new student, but it's very exciting. Everybody has to be really flexible in the ELL program. And we embrace everybody. Within 2 weeks' time, a family would arrive, and then we'd find out the ages of the kids, how many might be coming to Glenbard West, how many might be at Hadley or at one of the elementary schools. And so that was a really nice collaboration, because World Relief, typically they only get a couple weeks notice as to when a family's going to arrive. And then they have to like scramble to make sure somebody's at the airport, they're looking for apartment housing for them, or a family to let them live with them for the short term until they can move into an apartment or home. Although we don't have an official tracking record for refugee students, when students, however, you know, sometimes we do find out if a student is refugee if he or she talks with us about that, maybe in the classroom or in a journal.
Projects like this, I think, are a great way, and it's great to see students taking that initiative. Open conversation, discussion, get their story out there, whether it's in a video or on posters or on the West Ways. For as many people as there are out there that say and do those things, there are countless more that would never think about doing those things, and that would in fact go beyond to do the right thing and to help them out. So don't be scared, don't be shy, believe in yourself, and just have faith that things will work out.
Are those things going to happen? Yeah. People are mentally ill, people are whatever that that makes them do the things that they do. I'm never going to say we can't live in fear of what ifs. People might come here and never have one incident ever their whole lives, and they might come here and they might experience that, but that's the same for any of us. We can get bullied, harassed in any way, shape, or form just because we're not the right shape, right size, the right hair color, right this, that, and the other. So I know it's on a different level, harassment, but I would never turn anybody away to come here and experience what we can offer. Understanding where they come from and what they've experienced there is key for us to be able to help them.
I love you.
I don't know that we do enough student-wise to help, like students helping ELL students. We do a lot teacher-wise, staff-wise.
Didn't ask their homes to just hold haunting memories of slaughter and cruelty. Didn't ask for any of this, any more than you would. They've been torn apart every which way, and all they need right now is a home. There's more to this world outside than the one you live in. Open your eyes, open your arms, and open your doors.